You're listening to Conversations with Shonda, a podcast that unpacks the community's grittiest, most vexing problems, hosted by Shonda Smith Baker.
Jayland Baker. So I just finished talking to OA, and we were talking about his new book where he talked about growing up on the North Side. Mm-hmm. And I want to get your perspective on what it's been like to grow up in this community.
From my perspective, growing up in this community, it's been fun. It's been scary at times. It's been kind of all over the place. I had like a crazy experience growing up over north. I live close to all of my family members, close to my school, so the commute was pretty short. Everybody knows everybody over north. My school is small. So, I mean, it kind of helped me out versus a big school where I don't really know too many people. I think, like, it's more better for me in a community where everybody's engaged with everybody.
One of the reasons why I wanted you at North is because of that small school feel.
Right.
Did you feel cared for in that environment?
Yeah, I felt really cared for, especially because, I mean, you went there too, but a lot of the teachers and staff and stuff already know who you are and know like us as a family. So it's like I didn't really have to grow to learn any new bodies or like build no real new relationships. It's kind of like they already were there versus like coming to a complete new school. And I already played sports with them during middle school and stuff like that. So
one of the things that I talked with OA or Officer Adams about was him coaching the football team as a police officer. Did him and the other coaches being police officers, how much was that a factor for you all?
I think it factored pretty big in our lives and in our school because, I mean, it's the North Side and it's like these kids, they can get into a lot of trouble super easily just by being influenced or being a follower or trying to fit in, you know. So, like, him being an officer and the football coach, it's like he's never going to tell us no wrong on the field or off the field. And it's like him being an officer, it's like if I go out here and do bad in these streets, I know it's a chance he could catch me and I ain't going to play against Edison next week or whatever school we play against. And it's like I don't want those repercussions or anything like that. So he kind of built like a discipline system kind of for us where it's like we know what right from wrong. And it's just, yeah.
How was the team impacted after George Floyd's murder? Like, did you all talk about that as a team? Did you guys get angry with the officers? Like, was it tension? Like, what happened?
So we did talk about it. OA, he told us like around that time when that happened, he sat the whole team down instead of practice, before practice, he sat the whole team down and he was basically just telling us like how we should act if we have an encounter with a police officer, what things not to do and what things to do to keep us safe and keep and make the officer feel safe. He told us about like the officer that was involved with George Floyd. He said that he knew the guy, Derek Chauvin. He was basically just telling us like how to stay safe while dealing with the police.
What was you guys' conversation like in the locker room without them? Were you guys angry or did you feel like he provided a safe space to talk about in front of him?
When we were in the locker room, like without OA or without any coaches, it was kind of like F the police or whatever, like, you know, those type of feelings towards it. But like when it came to OA and the rest of the officers on the team, it was just like we knew that they were different. We knew that they actually cared for us. They really wanted the best for us. And it was like, it never really played a factor that like OA is a part of those bad police officers or anything. It's just like, okay, something that was really messed up happened. OA is an officer too, but OA is different from that type of officer. And like, he's like genuine with his feelings, with what he talks about. So, I mean, it didn't really affect us looking at OA.
And how many officers were your coaches? Did you guys have 4 or 5?
It was about like 4 or 5. I can't remember all of them and all their names, but it was about 4 or 5 of them.
When Minneapolis Public Schools ended the contract with the police department and Officer Adams had to leave your community service, their CSOs had to leave the school. How did the team respond to it?
The team, it kind of impacted us kind of badly because Officer Owe, having him inside the school, like during school, it was like a getaway when you needed a getaway, someone that you could talk to about anything while you're in school. It was also somewhere where it's like, if I can't focus in class, I know I can go to Owe's office and do my homework there or ask him questions about this or that and just life in general. So like without him being in the school, it was just like, dang, who could we turn to? And it's not that we didn't trust anybody else in the school. It's just that Owe had that much of an impact on us where we felt so comfortable talking to him about any situation.
You all went to the school board to ask for them to make an exception for you. How did that happen, and why do you think that happened?
Yeah, we went to the school board, and it was a bunch of people out there too. I really think it happened. Our quarterback at the time, Zach Yeager, he organized it with a group chat and the players. He told us to all be there. He told us it was mandatory, and we all showed up. And we just basically just wanted the people in the community to see our side of it versus just like the community side because they don't know what's going on inside of North's community, So we just wanted them to see our perspective. I feel like they heard us. I don't know if about listen. Like I feel like they hear what we're saying because I mean they still took him out of the school at the end of the day, but I do feel like they heard our side. I don't really know the ins and outs of it and why he really got taken out. Like why our side didn't pull any weight for real, but I feel like they listened. I just don't feel like it was enough action that happened to keep him in school.
You all had Showtime following you. There's a documentary called Boys in Blue, and it was following the school. And the way that they sort of described the community and the school was, for me, my perspective, it just looked ultra dangerous in a way that I haven't really experienced the school. But did you think it was an accurate reflection? And like, what's the student perspective around safety there?
I would say it's about 60% accurate because like I agree with you like when you say that it looked ultra dangerous because like I mean maybe that's just Showtime and that the way they edit stuff or anything like that, but I mean there's always like danger and risk over North, but I feel like as far as school everything was pretty safe. We had the orange shirts outside of school after every school day. We had Miss Frieslaven's husband cutting off the street with his truck and stuff, making sure, directing traffic, making sure nobody coming down there speeding. So, I mean, it was a lot of safety precautions and stuff took at school. I never really felt unsafe at school. It may be chaotic and rowdy, but I never really got the unsafe feeling at school. On my way home, I mean, pretty much, because I mean, I always played sports, so I couldn't talk for anybody else, but all of my teammates, we always made sure that nobody walked home. Nobody walks home, whether you got to go to Brooklyn Park or even further. We always arrange rides for everybody, make sure nobody's walking, make sure everybody gets home safe. So I mean, I never really had no worries.
Mm-hmm. Did it change at all after Sean Hill was murdered?
Yes, we never let anybody walk home, but like after that happened, it really made us like take it even more seriously. Like at this point, we're not even going to walk from school to the field. We're going to all drive. We're going to all, even if it takes 2 trips, we're going to all make sure that we're all, around each other at all times so that, we could prevent stuff like that.
Jayland, for the people that are unfamiliar with North High School and they have opinions about the safety or what's happening inside the school, how would you describe North High?
I would say North High is definitely a safe place. They definitely keep kids, inside the building, in classes, out the hallways. They take precautions after school by having the orange shirts outside and blocking off the streets, controlling the traffic, making sure that everybody's getting to where they're going safely. So yeah, I feel like it would be a safe place.
It seems like there's a lot of adult support there. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, I definitely felt that way. Like even the alumni, sometimes in school, the alumni would just come up to the school just to, check on the kids or their old teachers, and they would stop in and give advice or, stop in at practice and practice with us. But it was always like a community, whereas like everybody's all in, everybody's putting in, everybody's pitching in.
Yeah. Do you feel proud to be an alumni?
Yeah, I definitely feel proud. I still got my jersey hung up in my room. I'm rocking the shirt right now, so I'm definitely a proud alumni.
What is your stance around officers in the school? You didn't have that long being there without OA and the other officers in the school. Do you think that that was the right decision or the wrong decision for that school?
I feel like we should have kept the officers inside the school just because they were always there to keep the athletes in line for sure. Well, at least the football players. They were also there to protect the school from any other safety from outside. They were there just to be called on when they were needed. Like if I needed to go to their office and talk about something, or if I needed to go in there and have a quiet place to do my homework. It was always something that was essential for the school to me.
All right. If there's anything else you want to say about North High, or if you want to shout out any teachers, what would you say?
Yeah. Shout out OA. Shout out to Miss Strico, the track coaches. Shout out to the new basketball coach. He just got hired. I like him. Shout out to Coach Locke. And yeah.
You had a good relationship with Coach Locke.
Yeah, Coach Locke definitely was my guy. It started off with my big brother Rylan, and then after that, once he knew that I was Rylan's little brother, and I started having his class once I was a junior and senior, and I was playing football, it was just like the connection just clicked. We got the same birthday. We talk all the time. I see him out in the community, so yeah, that's definitely my guy.
Awesome. Thank you, Jayland.
All right, thank you.